The scam around CGC graded comics has been bubbling up over the internet over the last week or so. We have the full story for you right here. This is crazy. You'll never believe the amount of length that these scammers go to in order to just trick people into getting a few $1,000. It's absolutely crazy. But CGC's finally admitted it is going on, and they are looking into it. We'll get into the news in just a moment. My name is John Delarose. I've never really been into graded comics. I think comics are for reading. And of course, I have a bunch of beautiful graphic novels right here, which you can get on my web store. This link's in the description below. If you like superhero stuff, I would start with Flying Sparks. Volume 1 is available here, of course. And if you like science fiction, I'd start with Overmind. Overmind's a wonderful book and probably our best. And of course, book 2 is going to be coming out sometime in 2024. So thank you guys. Hit the like and subscribe button if you're new to the channel too. Really appreciate you being here. So here it is from Fandom Pulse, my news website. CGC admits hundreds of graded comics could be fraudulent after a recent Amazing Spider-Man Mark Jeweller's fake comic scandal. So we're going to get into this because there's a lot to unpack here. And what a CGC grade is, for those who don't know, is you can send in your books to this company and they certify it at a certain rating out of 10. And a 9.8 is about as perfect as it gets. They don't really put 10s on things. And so you can say, look, my comic book is in the most perfectest condition ever. And that's kind of what you do. It's kind of ridiculous. People pay a lot of money for this stuff. I've got friends who do it, fellow YouTubers like Yellow Flash. I know collects some graded comics. I never got into it. Like I said, I always thought comics are for reading and it's silly, but it gets even sillier when you look at it. There's like variant editions. Now there's an Amazing Spider-Man. These might look like the same book, but there's one that has an insert that is for Mark's Jewelers from the 1980s. It's just an advertisement. That's the only difference. And because that advertisement's not in every copy, it's rarer. Those copies with the Mark's Jewelers in it are worth more. It's silly. Again, I mean, that doesn't impact the comic whatsoever. Goes to show just how ridiculous the collecting market is for comics, but it is what it is. So somebody's figured things out with the CGC grading system here. And of course, there's been people doing this before, opening up different CGC shells, slipping other different comics in. Those are usually pretty easy to spot just by itself. And for this one, they've usually when you hit those shells open, you can tell they've been tampered with too. That's the other thing. But now they've gone to a different extreme length here. So what happened allegedly with this book is that this book on the right sold in August. And this book on the right was a 9.8, but it was not labeled the Mark's Jewelers version. So apparently they sent it back in to get the Mark's Jewelers on, which is listed here on the left. You can tell it's got a different top to the shell with the Spider-Man image on it also. And so they got that. And so before they sent it back in, that's when they did the slipping in of a different book. You can tell that this is not a 9.8 grade because it's got some damage in the corner right here, right? And so because they slipped it in, sent it back in, said, hey, you need to resubmit this anyways, it had to be cracked open anyway. It was sent back in uncracked, and so you get this new shell with a book that didn't have the rating because somebody just didn't check it at the CGC well enough. And so that's the deal here. It is the same certification number, so you know it's the same book as it's sold here. And CGC finally replied to this. They said they're aware of an incident involving an individual tampering with CGC comics holders. Based on our initial review, we believe that the incident affects a few hundred comic books. So there's actually a few hundred graded books, which might be inaccurate out there, according to actually CGC themselves right now. CGC exists to protect the community, and of course, over the last 36 years, we have certified more than 85 million collectibles, each one backed by a comprehensive guarantee. That trust we have built with our community sometimes makes us a target of bad actors. Despite our vigilance, this individual tampered with some of our holders. If you purchase one of these books that this individual is tampered with, we will ensure that you are appropriately compensated. So that's very good of the company for losses arising from any of the surveillance of our services. We expect to share a list of books we believe are impacted as soon as possible. We have also retained a leading private investigative service, outside counsel, to conduct a comprehensive review of this incident and our process, and to help ensure this individual is held accountable for the fullest extent of the law, which is fraud. We have already made significant improvements to our processes as a result of this incident, and we will continue to take appropriate steps to ensure that this type of incident does not happen again. We expect to share more information when we have it. In the meantime, if you have any questions or would like to share any information with CG, please reach out to us at reportfraud@collectiblesgroup.com. So they are doing the right thing as the company here, and they are actually compensating people who have gotten scammed by this. But this is absolutely crazy for the collector's world. Like I said, I always think that like these things are ridiculous to collect to begin with. Like, what's the point? I mean, read a comic book, guys. Jeez. Leave a comment down below with what you think about this, my friends. Hit that like and subscribe button. Make sure to check out my web store and check out my comics. Really appreciate you being there. We'll be back soon.